Hey, just a quick announcement before the video begins. Forgot to call this out in the actual video. After a helpful comment pointed things out about YouTube's compression and things like that, this is the first video that I'm doing in 4K. So the capture itself is set to 4K and the video is exported in 4K. Now obviously the content itself is not 4K, but the whole point of this is that when you have a 4K video, it helps with YouTube's compression. You get more bandwidth, less compression. And I did some tests with this. I did capture in 1080p, I exported that in 4K, I did capture in 4K, exported to 4K, uploaded all that to YouTube, took some snippets and screenshots, and sure enough, yeah, the 4K footage looks closer to what the actual capture looks like on my computer before it gets uploaded. So just wanted to shout that out. This video doesn't have a ton of capture work. I didn't want to come out of the gate with like a ton of stuff. I'm still testing things and understanding settings and resource allocation with the computer, etc. But wanted to call that out because it is a pretty cool first step for me in that direction with this new content. So enjoy the video and thanks for watching. Video. Hey, I'm Mike, and welcome to Retro Boost. We are diving into the world of controllers once again today, this time for the NES. And what's actually kind of funny about this is that this isn't like a new controller to me, but it may be one that's new to you or some people watching, it depends, or at least a new opportunity to buy one of these controllers. It's the NES JAB by Retro Fighters. So I've actually owned this controller for, I want to say, a couple of years, but it was discontinued. But they just brought it back, I'm pretty sure for a limited time, and it's for sale again. So I wanted to talk about it now that it's new again and I got my hands on another one. Where did I get the original one? Well, I came across this one pre-owned at my local game shop like, I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years ago. I had done the video on the Brawler 64, so I knew what Retro Fighters was, and I was like, oh, there's the NES one? And I got it, and I've been using it regularly ever since, but I didn't want to talk about it because it was discontinued. Now, however, they're back in production. Again, I'm pretty sure it's a limited time thing, so time to talk about it. Before we dive in, feel free to subscribe, help grow the channel, really appreciate it. Hit 850 subscribers today as I'm filming right now, which is insane and incredible. Thank you so much to everyone who's watching. Also, feel free to join the Discord server. It's where we all gather, talk about games, movies, TV shows, all kinds of random stuff. Plus, we're doing a Super Mario Bros. Movie digital giveaway. It's going to be on the 16th, so this is the last video that's going to be going up prior to that happening. Now, let's talk about this controller, bringing modern design to one of the oldest consoles. Looking at an original NES controller, few things are as classic as that red and gray design and color scheme. What more could you want? Well, I could name a couple things, and some of those things are on this new controller. Firstly, Analogue Control. The most beautiful thing about the Brawler Gen, which Retro Fighters released for the Sega Genesis / Sega Saturn, was the inclusion of an analog stick, something that the Genesis didn't have, and it was excellently implemented. Much the same with this controller, the JAB. One of the really cool things, not just the ergonomic design and updated feel, but that analog stick, adding a new layer of control and comfort to the NES experience. We also get trigger buttons and shoulder buttons that double as facepad buttons. But you gotta think, they're gonna add more, they add more buttons, but the NES itself only had the two, including start and select, so like, what are you gonna do? So, they've basically added additional buttons that give you the choice of how you want to control the game. I personally really like the triggers. Think of like Super Mario Bros, any of them. You have to hold the B button to run. Well, now you can just hold the left trigger or left shoulder button and then jump with the A button on the face, or the trigger if you wanted to. It's all up to you. It's much more comfortable for like long-term sessions of having to hold buttons like that down. I really like it. We also get turbo functionality as well. I mean, they all have that, and that's definitely part of the tradition at this point. So, very cool. This is a wired controller, much like the Brawler Gen. Helps keep the price down. The cord itself, I wish was longer. It's a 6-foot cord. I have to use an extension cable for it to reach where I'm sitting here. That's well over, like, probably 12 feet away where my stuff is. That may not be a problem for everybody. It is compatible with the NES and PC, so like emulation, and it's compatible with most third-party consoles, they say. However, I did run into an interesting quirk. The original pre-owned controller that I have works with my Retron 5, which is a great console for playing NES on. I did a video about that a couple years ago, revisiting it today. The Retron 5 like emulates games basically. You stick a cartridge into it and it performs like a ROM dump. Then you're playing the game as if it was emulation. And the benefit there is you get 720p output over HDMI and it's crystal clear. It's awesome. And this controller works with it. The really funky thing is, the new one that I just got from this new batch they released does not work with the Retron 5. So I'm not sure what the deal is, but something must be a little bit different with the programming under the hood between the original run of them that started in 2016, I think is when it came out, and then these new ones that came out like a month or so ago, not even that. So, worth noting. So I'm going to show two kind of in-video gameplay examples. I'll play my Retron 5 with the old one, and I'll play my 5X Pro original NES with the new one to get a sense for it. But I will say this. This is where things are a little funny with the fact that I've owned this for years. As far as like seeing this in action more, every video I've done on the NES in the last like year and a half to 2 years, I've been using the JAB controller. Most infamously, the RetroTINK versus Virtual Console video I did, where I compared RetroTINK 5X Pro and the 2X Pro against Wii and Wii U Virtual Console games. The NES stuff was all this controller, and someone pointed out how totally good I am at Ninja Gaiden thanks to the controller. You don't have to look at the video and look at the comments. That's what that said. It was that. They said how good I was. I was really killing it. You don't have to look. It's fine. Trust me, it's there. So let's go ahead and let's play some games real quick and just see how it is in action. Alright, let's try this new one out on my NES, which is cooperating with Mega Man 3. It's very flaky these days. I tried like 4 other games, and this is the one that worked. This is my current 5X Pro NES profile. It's a little different than the one that I showed in my recent 5X Pro settings video. Only difference, though, is the mask, or rather the preset being used for the scan lines. This is a slot mask instead of a BVM. I think I've played around with slot mask before. I think I've gone back to it now. I like it quite a bit. Here we go. Right out of the gate, analog stick. Oh, love it. It's very, very nice, very responsive, very comfortable, and grips the thumb nicely because of the indent. I definitely like that. And the fact that B is elevated from A on the controller really makes the whole jumpin' shootin' of a game like Mega Man very easy to do. Alright. That fight with Proto Man went really well. Trigger... trigger for sliding. Well, you can hold down and hit it. Nah, that's actually alright. Some games the trigger may come in more handy than others. Like Mario Bros, it's very comfortable to continue holding down the trigger. Whereas here I have to tap it for certain things, but it still works really great. Alright, now using my older jab, we'll play some NES on the Retron 5. I tried again to get the new one to work on the Retron 5, and no matter which port it's in, whether it's directly connected or through the extension cable, it just doesn't want to do it. So something's got to be different about the innards of the new line of controllers versus the old ones for Retron to happily accept this, but won't accept regular inputs from the new version. So, unfortunate, but for anyone who's interested in the Retron 5 experience, let's mess around with this controller a little bit. Getting started, the first thing I take in is that, again, the analog stick control is very good. It's very responsive, it's very comfortable. You'll hear me repeating myself on that regard quite a bit, but I really like that indent really does work on the stick to help you really grip. But most importantly, it's responsive, and it works exactly how it should, which is awesome considering that the NES never even had this to begin with. The buttons as well have satisfying clicks, nothing gets stuck, nothing hangs up, and whether it's the triggers, the shoulder buttons, or the face buttons, everything responds very nicely. Before we conclude, to address the little elephant in the room that's been running around all day but is now on camera because you're playing so much right here, this, everybody, is Miki. We just adopted her about a week ago. She is a TV-loving cat. She thinks that screens are real, so she gets really into video games that are on the TV, and movies too, and she's just a crazy little ball of energy. Oh, you're so funny. So if you saw that little blanket just out of shot here, that's kind of her little base camp is next to me here. Anyway, because she's going to run across here eventually, might as well introduce her. Oh my goodness, she's so crazy. Anyway, what are our thoughts? Well, today was not going to, like, make or break my opinion on this controller, because like I said, I've had it for literally years. It's an excellent controller for playing NES with. The analog control is, like, really comfortable and smooth and accurate, and playing again with it today just affirms that all the more. Kirby's adventure felt great. Being able to jump, float, because you have to press up to float, like in the air, doing the sliding kicks, like nothing gave me trouble or was inaccurate at all. They excellently programmed how that stick works, just like they did with the Brawler Gen. Another great controller for the Sega Genesis. See, I told you she'd appear here eventually. You crazy cat. I haven't used it on PC because I just don't do emulation with, like, NES on PC, but all the same functionality would reign true. That's kind of why I wanted to do the Retron 5 demo, because that is sort of what you could expect from emulating it, both graphically and the control-wise. For the actual hardware, also no problems at all there. Playing Mega Man, doing precision platforming, fighting Proto Man, no issues at all. It depends on the game, whether or not I find myself wanting to use the triggers or shoulder buttons or face buttons. Both Mega Man 3 and Kirby's Adventure were just games where I was perfectly happy using the face buttons alone, but there are plenty of games where the triggers feel more satisfying or more comfortable, like Ninja Gaiden. So like that was an example of where I was using the triggers for both buttons, the jumping and the slicing, and it felt awesome. And then like Mario Bros, holding the trigger down to run, or using the face buttons or trigger to jump. The choice is yours with how this is all put together. So overall, very happy with it. I mean, for the price, it's like 25 bucks. That's a good deal for what you're getting here. A modern, comfortable feeling controller with analog control for an old console that didn't even have that, that's compatible with both the original hardware and PC on emulation, and depending, maybe mine in particular didn't work on the Retron 5 or other things, but it depends. They say that a lot of third-party stuff is supported. I did read that for the NES Classic, you can use it, but you do need a thing called an NES Pro adapter. Just a tip there. So that does it. Short and sweet, maybe. I don't know, however long this video is going to be. Probably not the usual that I've been running at the past few whiles. The last one, that 5X Pro profile video, was a big one, like an hour long. If you wanted more 5X Pro stuff, I'd recommend starting there. Just recently did that video. But hey, there we go. So thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe, help me grow the channel even more, past 850. Very happy about that milestone. What are you doing? What are you doing? Just going all over the place. And you can also join the Discord server. We talk about games, all kinds of random fun stuff, games, TV shows, movies, etc. It's all in there. And we're doing a giveaway, Super Mario Bros. The movie, a digital copy that I'll be giving away. It's like a code, like a voucher that you can redeem. The winner is anyone on the Discord server is applicable. We do like a raffle kind of thing, and the winner will get direct message from the Retro Boost Giveaways account, a picture of the code. It's from a 4K Blu-ray copy. I love that movie so much that I bought a digital copy when it was first available, and then when I had the chance, I bought the 4K Blu-ray. Thus, I don't need that digital code, so that code is where this giveaway is coming from. So anyone who's a member of the Discord server will have the ability to win that. Additionally, there's some exclusive content only on the Discord server. At the time of this video, multiple episodes of our upcoming podcast are on there, along with some unreleased Retro Boost arcade content, a playthrough of Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, and some goofy Super Smash Bros. Melee betting on AI matches situation that we did. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Have a good rest of your day.